The World Bank has hinted at plans to cut funding for government social intervention programs like the free SHS if government fails to implement proposed reforms. The World Bank says it will not hesitate to cut funding to some of the government social intervention programs if the managers of the economy fail to implement the proposed reforms. And the government has already indicated that it's working with its development partners to review some of these programs like the free SHS and school feeding. The World Bank Country Director, Pierre Laporte, has been speaking on the PM Express Business Edition with George Riafe.
Program is talking about working with the World Bank to reform some of its social intervention programs as well. Free SHS is one of them, planting for food and jobs. What role is the bank playing in this so-called reforms? Would that lead to downgrading support, restructuring the program, or cancellation of the program as a recommendation?
The major role we play, we provide funding, like social protection, for instance. It's one thing to give money, but you have to make sure that the money is spent correctly. For instance, I'll give an example. We've been talking very directly with both the Finance Ministry now and the Ministry of Local Government on the school feeding program. Because school feeding program, we know it can get very political, there can be favors and stuff like that. And we've been very clear in the new project, we expect full transparency and accountability in the way school feeding programs are given out. So, and we are clear. If tomorrow, because what we do, not because we want to do it, we want to do things the right way, in line with good practice everywhere else, and we don't want our projects to become political tools. So we are clear. If what is agreed, or what is agreed because we agree, we're going forward. If the government refuses to do school feeding in the right way, we will restructure the project and do not support that activity. I'll just give you an example.
Yeah.
You mentioned
free SHS.
Free SHS.
Yeah.
It's important because countries like Ghana, developing countries, government needs to support. But what we need to do is at the same time work in parallel to review your policies, to review your frameworks. How can we improve access to private sector in the health sector? And there is, I mean, IFC in some parts of Africa have invested, So where we come in, we look at your policies, we look at your governance structures, your frameworks, and we tell you this is good, this is not good. We propose changes to you. But if government doesn't want to accept it, we cannot force. Okay, sometimes either we put the money somewhere else, or we restructure projects and put it in areas where we feel it can better reach the beneficiaries.
Yeah. And so with respect to this engagement that is going on, you made some proposal. You talked about the new the school feeding thing. It means that there have been some proposals put forward on what government should do about these social intervention programs. If government fails to deliver on those actions, the funding will be cut.
Yes, we'll put elsewhere. We don't take funding and go back to Washington with it. What we do is we might, it's happened very rarely, but it's happened where we take the money and put it somewhere else because your allocation, your basic IDA allocation is for the country. And whilst we can, at the end of the cycle, if it's not used, we have to put it back in the pool and distribute to countries. But during the cycle, what we try to do, we put money in. I can give you, when I came here a few months later, there was a land project that had been approved by the board, but then it was taking a long time. There was some disagreement between different parts of government. So in the end, we know what, we say, okay, I pull this back, we put the money into another project. So it happens, but it happens rarely.
When you look at some of these social intervention programs, like the free SHS, school feeding program, planting for food and jobs, is the problem, some would say that the idea is good, right? The problem has to do with the implementation and getting the funding right, pushing the money to the right spot, and accountability, right?
Absolutely. It's the governance. How do you do it? The structures that are there. It's the accountability, the fairness, do it the right way, do it the appropriate way. And if it's, because you can have good intentions, but if along the path somewhere there are other things that come in and distorts the whole process, then your intentions will not benefit the poor, the beneficiaries, because the chain is broken by either, like you say, poor governance, poor delivery, corruption, or whatever kind of things.